On the night of April 9, 2021, Gabriela Meirelles, 20 years old, went out with a man. Gabriela, who was a medical student in Uruguay and resident in Brazil, met this man online. The man lived in a small town called Araguari, with approximately 115,000 inhabitants. According to reports, Gabriela had traveled to the hometown of the man with whom she arranged a meeting, attracted by the promise of good job opportunities in the region. Gabriela had only been in the city for 3 days and started sharing a modest apartment with her friend, who did not want to be identified. The housing was paid for by the same man she met and was in a neighboring city called Uberlandia. During the meeting, a feeling of uneasiness came over Gabriela. She then decided to send messages via WhatsApp to the friend with whom she shared the apartment. In these messages, Gabriela said that the man was saying strange things to her and asking if she found out about an alleged serial killer who was killing several call girls in the region. Frightened, Gabriela shared her location in real time with this friend and asked her to look for her if she didn't return by 8 a.m. The friend agrees and also points out that she would hit the man. Shortly after midnight, Gabriela sent a last message to her friend informing her that she would try to sleep, and that around 7 a.m. she would contact her friend to leave. However, Gabriela no longer got in touch. The next day, very worried, Gabriela's friend contacted the police and reported what had happened. The police then asked for Gabriela's location to investigate. Gabriela's friend showed all the messages to the police, who quickly went to the scene. Upon arriving at the address, the police knocked and called at the gate, but no one answered them. At that same moment, they smelled a very strong smell of bleach coming from the residence, and suspicious, they decided to enter. Just in the backyard, they found a hoe and a shovel that contained some freshly disturbed earth. While one team searched inside the residence, another team remained in the backyard. The team that stayed in the backyard became suspicious of a piece of land next to a wall that was clean and wet, as if someone had buried something there. They then took the hoe and shovel they found in the yard and started digging. In a short time of digging, the police made a macabre discovery. A body had been buried there. It was Gabriela. Meanwhile, the team searching inside the residence found some documents that helped them identify the man who was with the Gabriela the night before. He was Jose Hamilton, a 43-year-old motorcycle taxi driver. After a quick search, the police discovered that the man had already been arrested in 2006 for taking his wife's life and burying her under his bed. At the time, Jose Hamilton was tried and sentenced to 12 years for the crime, and believe it or not, he was only imprisoned for 6 years, being released in 2012. Due to this criminal history and other evidence, Jose Hamilton became the main suspect for the crime against Gabriela. Police officers immediately began collecting information with the aim of discovering the man's whereabouts. In conversation with neighbors, they discovered that gunshots were heard coming from the residence where Gabriela was found. Neighbors also said that Jose Hamilton had been depressed in recent months and often talked about taking his own life. While the police continued to collect information that would lead to the suspect, Gabriela's body was sent for forensic examination. According to the autopsy, Gabriela had a hole in her head caused by a gunshot. I did not find information on whether there were other signs of violence on the body, but what is known is that it was the shot that caused her death. Later, Gabriela's friend was informed of what had happened and called to give a statement.
Ela falou pra mim que estava com medo. Quando chegou lá, ela estava com medo porque ele começou a falar de que um homem tinha assassinado uma mulher, só que ela não sabia que esse homem que tinha assassinado era ele. Ela falou assim toda hora: amiga, me liga de 1 em 1 hora. Aí eu liguei pra ela e ela falou assim: não, amiga, de 1 em 1 hora você manda mensagem, porque ele tá aqui do meu lado. Aí eu falei assim: se você tiver com algum problema, você responde pra mim bala, pirulito ou festa, pra caso ela precisasse de ajuda. E ela não falou nada. Ela falou: não, amiga, tá tudo bem, por enquanto.
At the police station, she told the police that she and Gabriela were call girls and that they met Jose Hamilton on the internet, and that after that the man invited them to go and live near him in a neighboring city where he would pay the rent for an apartment for them to stay, and it would also help Gabriela cover the costs of medical school. She also said that this was Gabriela's third meeting with Jose Hamilton, and that just like in the previous 2 meetings, the man left his hometown of Araguari, where he lived, and went to pick up Gabriela in the neighboring city, Uberlandia. During an interview with a TV channel, this same friend said that Gabriela's big dream was to finish medical school and then take a test to join the police and become a coroner. But unfortunately, that dream went with her. I didn't find information on which website exactly Jose Hamilton met Gabriela, whether it was on social networks, dating apps, or something like that, but the most likely hypothesis is that it was on an escort website. Upon being informed of what had happened, Gabriela's family was devastated. Christiane Meirelles, Gabriela's mother, said in interviews that her daughter was a sweet girl and that she was just chasing her dream. She said her daughter wanted to graduate from college to make her and her family very proud. Christiane also said that she raised her daughters with a lot of effort and dedication, selling snacks on the street and cleaning to be able to support herself and her daughters, and that she taught everything she knew, so that the girls would follow a good path. Itamara Meirelles, Gabriela's twin sister, did not give many statements to journalists, but on her social network she posted how devastated she was by the loss of her sister. The two were very close and attached, and when they lived in the same house, they did several things together. The family said that Gabriela's choice to study medicine in Uruguay was due to the low cost of the course in that country compared to Brazil. However, she never went to the country to study. All the classes she took were online due to restrictions due to the pandemic, but she intended to go live there to take face-to-face classes as soon as possible. At the time of the events, some media reported that Jose Hamilton was paying Gabriela's college tuition. However, this was denied by the family, who said that Gabriela had only known the man for a few days, and that he had never paid anything related to college for her. The family also said that they did not know that Gabriela had moved to Uberlandia with her friend. Much less did they know about Jose Hamilton and that Gabriela was a call girl. According to them, before moving to Uberlandia, Gabriela lived in another state where she had a boyfriend. However, she had already ended the relationship some time ago. I didn't find any information about Gabriela's father, but I assume she has no contact with him, or even never met him, as he is not mentioned on any news site. In subsequent days, the search for Jose Hamilton intensified. The police, after collecting various information, managed to discover his hiding place. Jose Hamilton was hiding in a favela in Araguari. When police arrived at the scene to arrest the man, he responded with gunfire. A quick exchange of fire ended with Jose Hamilton being hit. Help was called, and the criminal was rushed to the hospital, but it was still unsuccessful, and he died. With Jose Hamilton, the police found 3 firearms and almost $1,260 in cash. After a brief investigation, the police discovered that the source of this money came from the sale of a motorcycle. According to the police, after committing the crime, Jose Hamilton sold his motorcycle for a price well below the list price, telling the buyer that he needed quick money. The criminal's intention was probably to flee the state. He would try to hide, and when the dust settled, he would buy a ticket to get off the police radar. Well, he got a ticket, a one-way ticket, to a very hot place. In July 2021, the police concluded the investigation of the case because the person responsible for the crime was no longer alive. According to them, the crime was not premeditated, and the motivations that led Jose Hamilton to commit it are uncertain. But based on the man's history, it is likely that he did what he did, simply because he felt like it. Gabriela Meirelles was buried under strong commotion on April 13, 2021. At the time, during an interview, Christiane, Gabriela's mother, said that what comforted her was knowing that Jose Hamilton would no longer harm anyone. She also said that she forgave the criminal so that her daughter could rest in peace. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my work. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.